Welcome to Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about ball. It's Andrade and Irwin back at it again. Drop a like, drop a sub, drop a comment. We post 5 videos a week, and y'all already know what time it is. We're getting into the nitty gritty.
Yeah,
holy shit, that was nice. Of MVP season, shit's getting serious. We already did an MVP profile on Embiid, LeBron. And the latest one was Jokic after both got injured.
But guess
like
what?
LeBron and I was about to say AD.
They're going like flies, man, because there's also injury bug season.
Exactly. And now another one that's kind of popped up everyone's radar, or at least the media's radar, is Harden, which is a little surprising because I don't think nobody expected after he went to Brooklyn that he would even be in this conversation, because everybody was like, oh, how are they going to share the ball? They're going to be forced to share the ball, so their stats are going to be very, spread out, which is what we saw with the Heat when they did their big three. But no, Harden has been carrying a lot. I don't want to say he's been carrying the team, but he's been leading the team.
Yeah.
Even though it's still KD's team, Harden's been leading it. And also, we have not seen these three on the floor a lot together during the regular season. I think the total amount they've played is like low 100 minutes. Like, I think it was like 105 minutes or some shit together that they've been on the floor so far this season. So, says a lot. But, now he's been doing his thing, been leading that squad. And now, he's in contention. Although, we'll get into our opinions of the MVPs. But let's point out these stats.
Yeah, stats time. You already know.
Stats time. BTD stats. I am the MVP. I forgot who posted this, but obviously you guys could tell it's a TV graphic. That's why it's mad blurred. And all right, let's break it down. Jokic, 35.8 minutes, 8th in the league. 27.2 points, 7th in the league. 11.1 rebounds, 8 in the league. 8.6 assists, 6 in the league. 1.6 steals, 6 in the league. And 3.0 turnovers, 17th in the league.
And James Harden, we got 31.1 minutes.
First in the league.
25.8 points.
11th in the league.
8.1 rebounds, surprisingly.
20th in the league.
Okay, 11.2 assists.
Numero uno in the league.
Oh, nice. And 1.3 steals.
Ooh, all the way down to 27th in the league. And even though it's only 0.3 differences. That's interesting.
I know, interesting. And 4.2 turnovers.
4th in the league, which is...
you don't want to be top 5.
Especially for a guard.
But anyways, man, now that we have the stats out of the way, Andrade, who is your MVP? Jokic or Harden?
All right. Before I delve into my opinion, we got to point this out because this is part of MVP voting. Because in the future, when we get a vote, we want to clarify to the people that we've always been real with it. All right.
We use it on last Caruso. What?
Let's keep in mind the Brooklyn Nets play in the East. So you already know how that goes.
Yep.
As of this recording, they are 32-15, and that ranks them second in the East.
They're tied for first.
And then, Jokic, obviously the Nuggets play in the West, and you're gonna have to squint and you gotta look at the 5th in the West seed, and they're 29-18. Keep in mind, 29-18 would put them somewhere between second or tied for, well, actually second for second or third in the East.
They'll be a top
so
3
keep that
team
in mind.
The East.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Andrade? Based on everything, now that we know all the stats, teams and individual stats, who is your MVP?
Dude, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie.
No, of course not, man.
Because part of it why it's hard for me is like I'm not thinking just right now. I'm thinking, assuming how it'll play out. And when I think about what the near future and how I expected things to play out, I'm gonna still have to stick with Nikola Jokic for MVP this season, which he'd be the first big man to win it since 2000, which we've said a lot this year because of Embiid.
You actually might be surprised about this, Andrade, because I've told you my opinion of James Harden.
Disconnect his mic.
Disconnect that. Yeah, taking all the emotions to the side, because my opinion is James Harden, his fucking fat ass forced his way out of.
He's a hater, guys. He's a hater. He gets very emotional.
I'm like, bro, you should even be in the conversation when it comes to doing that shit. But then again, when you see the Rockets,
he's doing his thing.
But then when you see the Rockets losing 20 games in a row, I'm like, hey, I understand, bro. They're a dumpster fire. But anyways, taking the emotionals out of the way, Look, man, you gotta. James Harden definitely deserves strong consideration. He
I
actually
agree with that. He deserves to be in the
He
conversation.
actually should be the favorite. Here's the reason. Here's the reason why. Well, look, man, LeBron's injured. Joel Embiid is injured right now.
Jokic ain't injured.
It's between Jokic and Harden right now at this point. Chris Paul should deserve some consideration as well.
He's
with what's going
that
on.
Fucking Phoenix team so high up. It's
he's
crazy.
not gonna win it, but he's gonna win. He's gonna get some consideration.
Yeah, he'll get some votes.
But look, you gotta take into the fact. You just said it right now, Andrade. KD, they haven't been able to play with KD. Like, you know what's going on. So it's basically been Kyrie, Harden, and they have no bench. The Nets, even with what they signed right now. And granted, and thanks to James Harden with the way that he's been playing and leading the team, the Nets not only have been able to brave the storm, to weather the storm, they actually have been able to play really, really well. They're one of the hottest teams out there in the NBA.
As they should be.
Yeah, but they're not in full force. They're not with KD. And that actually goes more in consideration with how James Harden has been playing. Like, if James Harden is not there, he hasn't been playing in that level, the Nets probably would be like maybe a number 6 and number 7 seed right now with those injuries with KD. That's my thing right now. And MVP, if you could elevate your team, you know, to what they are right now, number 1, number 2, which is part of the criteria to be MVP, Harden definitely deserves it.
All right. I'm going to have to say Jokic because off the stats they gave us, Jokic is top 10 in the league for minutes, points, rebounds, assists, and steals.
Yeah.
All right. And then we didn't point this out because it doesn't show in this, but we got the stats in front of us. And we brought this up in the MVP candidate video for Jokic. He's a hairline away
50,
from
40,
a
90.
50-40-90 club. And you know me, if you join that elite club of averaging 50% in the field goal, 40% from 3, and 90% from free throw, you most certainly deserve MVP. And if you're the motherfucking center, which big men were supposedly extinct in today's NBA, and you're just fucking redefining that headline, like, come on, you're doing something different, almost like Westbrook a couple years ago, but we're not gonna go that far because that was extra special. And all Jokic has to do, in my opinion, is lift them up to top 3 in the West. Top 3 in the West. You give me top 3 in the West, bro. Guess what? You got narrative on your side. You got seeding on your side. You're the main reason why your team is doing that well. And if you can catch that 50-40-90 club, which is historic, that's a lock for MVP. And that's why I got Jokic as the favorite. If he's able to achieve these things, and that's why the reason I'm saying these things is because I foresee him doing it. Like right now, he's averaging 57% from field goal, 42.8 from 3, and 86.8 from free throw. Bro, he's only 3.2% away from the free throw.
Look,
Harden, on the other hand, a little different.
Those are all valid points, but another thing you got to take into consideration as well is the markets that they play in. Denver is a smaller market than Brooklyn. Brooklyn, New York, that whole area is the number 1 media market in the USA.
But that doesn't affect MVP voting as much.
It does not. However, it's going to mean there's going to be more eyeballs on James Harden rather than Nikola Jokic.
I mean, to an extent, but I think the Nuggets have elevated themselves enough in the past few seasons.
They do.
That eyeballs are on the Nuggets. You know what I mean? At least like the mainstream media in sports in the NBA. So that, like, Jokic is a household name.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The Joker.
Harden, arguably
the beard,
slightly more popular than Jokic maybe, but at least in general for the NBA, they're both on the same star power level. And when you take that into consideration, I'm like, okay. And then for me, what hurts me with Harden is, and it's kind of always been a part of his game, it's his turnovers. And when you're leading in the top 5, he's 4th in the league as of this recording. And like I said, he's not in the 50-40-90 club. He's shooting 46.3 from field goal, 36.2 from 3, and 86.7 from free throw. It's like, bro, look at this big man over here. Field goal percentage as a big man is a little more understandable. You're closer to the basket, usually your game. But come on, Jokic is averaging over 40% from the 3. Come on, man. And only 3% away from a 90% free throw.
It's almost unheard of.
Yeah. And it's like, I forgot how much, we talked about this before, but only like
briefly
10 people have made the 50-40-90 club, some shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, he locks that in. And like I said, top 3. Give me top 3. Maybe top 4. Maybe the voters will let him slide. Maybe. If he locks that 50-40-90 club.
I think it could happen from a historical aspect. he got two things going on. He has that historical stat, like you were saying right now, and I think this is my bite in the ass, James Harden, the way how he forced himself out of Houston.
Oh, no. I don't think it's him forcing himself out of Houston. I think it's, oh, come on, bro. You're on a superstar squad. Even though KD hasn't, a lot of people may have that in mind.
Yeah, but the argument goes out of the door, man. LeBron in the Heatles era, he was on the super team. Come on, that happened.
And also what helps Harden is something I'll give Harden a lot of respect for. And I've seen a couple of analysts also point this out. Analysts that have been very critical of him. And I've been highly critical of Harden's game in his Houston days because I wasn't the biggest fan of how he played, and I also thought he was overrated, like slightly overrated. Not fully overrated, but slightly overrated. Seeing how he's adapted his game for Brooklyn, becoming a true floor general and a true point guard, nobody really saw that coming. You know what I mean? And a part of the reason we didn't see that coming is because he did have other star players play with him in Houston before, like Westbrook, and that didn't really happen when he was in Houston. But for some reason, he comes to the Nets, and when he was going there, I remember I pointed out, I thought it was gonna work out because personality-wise, I feel like Kyrie, KD, and Harden really understand each other on a wavelength character type of level. You know what I mean? Because they're both like, all three of them are like a little weird. They're very I guess weird, but unusual. Just very individualistic. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's worked out, and I'm really glad to see, especially when Kyrie pointed out a couple months, we did a video on that too. So that I think actually falls positively for his narrative, for Harden's narrative. But then I think there's a couple people that are going to point out, oh, but he joined the 3-star. Even casual fans who wouldn't know, like, KD's been out for most of it, and Kyrie's been in and out too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but those are probably the same fans
that hurt him.
Those are the same fans that are getting pissed off that a washed up Blake Griffin and a washed up LaMarcus Aldridge joined them, thinking that, oh, they joined them in the prime.
But chill. Come on, man. I mean, I get that, and I've seen a couple broadcast analysts, like, point this out in, like, segments for different shows, but it's like, I don't think, and I said this too for Blake Griffin. Guess what? He's proven what I said about, like, you're gonna see more effort because now he's in a franchise in the city he actually wants to play for. And players, when they switch up, their soul is improved.
Anyways, guys, we're gonna end it over here, man. You guys let us know what you guys think in the comments, because this guy's clearly washed up. What do you guys think, man? There should be another MVP candidate.
Jokic the favorite or Harden the favorite?
Exactly. Let us know what you guys think.
Who else should we fucking do a MVP versus or something, MVP candidate profile? And we'll do one on Harden eventually, because I think he's deserving of it.
But anyways, let us know, guys. Appreciate all the love and the hate. You guys already know. Catch us on TikTok, Twitter, Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about ball. Catch you guys soon. For now, later.